What's up, y'all, and welcome back to the Warsheep Podcast. Today we're going to be getting into another video here that comes from the non-mono man. Now, of course, this video is going to definitely be shedding more light on the polygamy space. And as I like to say, light creates understanding. Understanding creates love. Love creates patience. And patience creates unity.
Knowledge.
So without further ado, let's get into this video.
Is the sheep preaching hate when he says, I'm not going to let the wolf eat me anymore? If the wolf comes in here, next time he comes in here, I'll do whatever I have to do to keep him off my back. Is the sheep violent or is the wolf the violent one? He wasn't teaching hate, he was teaching common sense. You know, somebody's knocking you over the head, stop him. Do whatever you have to do to stop him. You know, the ones that were knocking him over the head were afraid of the fact that he might swing back. So they said, no, he's teaching hate, he's violent.
I am attempting to support an alternative lifestyle, which includes polygyny. And I explained it in my first blog that it is the relationship between one husband and several wives. And it's something that I'm interested in because I was introduced to it as an alternative to single parenthood, which wasn't fun. So I was looking for another way to have a relationship that would be supportive for my children. And I feel like polygyny is the best thing for children. Even my daughter right now, she gets really worn out even with one child. My daughter-in-law, same thing, one child wears them out. But if the child had other parents in the household, namely other mothers in the household that they could talk to, it would give one mother a rest. And yes, the father, he should be there too. I'm not excluding him from child rearing. I just know that the nurturing energy that women have is very important in a child's early development. And from my experiences, when I was raising my children alone, I would get so stressed out. And I think that's really how people abuse their children, is because they don't have enough help. So that's why I feel one of the reasons that polygyny would definitely benefit society, amongst other reasons. It's not just so that men could have more sex with more women. And that's a misconception that I would like to try to dispel. So I mentioned Dr. Dixon Spears' book, We Want for Our Sisters What We Want for Ourselves. And I also mentioned Sabon Fusome's book. And in Sabon Fusome's book, she says that polygyny is when a woman is happy in her relationship and she wants to share that happiness. And she also says that women choose polygyny when they want to have more female energy in the house to make the house more lively. To me, that is the best description of it. I mean, besides everything else, but everything else aside, that is the best description to me of polygyny. So I would just like to speak a little bit more about how it's possible. You know, once you eliminated the jealousy and insecurity that a lot of women have, and you want to embrace the sisterhood, you don't want to be a single mother, and you have this man that you really, really love, and you may even have a child for, but he has several women that like him and want to be with him, and they pursue him. So what do? Do you get jealous? Do you give him an ultimatum? Do you break up your relationship? Now, I'm going to remind you that you really do love this man. You don't want to let him go. Your child loves him. What do? You're in a predicament. Or, like I explained my situation, what if you are already a single mother and your children's father is not around? Do you feel like your children don't need a father? Do you feel like you as a woman are enough of a father and a mother? I'm going to tell you from experience, that's not true. Children need their father. There's a different energy that fathers give. There are different gifts and blessings that fathers give. And I'm not a man, and I can't give my children what a man could give my children. And I know that, like I mentioned before, is because I had my father and I know the contribution that he made to our household. My mother could not have made that. She made the contribution she made, he made the contribution he made, and that made us well-rounded young people and adults. So my wanting to come online, my speaking out about something that's in this society illegal, some people think immoral, is because I really feel strongly about the fact that it could actually save a lot of relationships and heal us, bring us closer together. That is my ambition. Nothing more than that. I guess it's so unbelievable that a woman would agree with or consent to polygyny. And I guess I can understand that. But in this lifetime, I have experienced enough life to know that monogamy wasn't working for me. It was, like I mentioned before, I've been married 3 times. It was a lot of work because I give a lot. I believe in traditional roles, and that doesn't mean that I don't want to have a career, but I don't want to sacrifice a family for a career. I don't think that's a fair trade, because in my African American relationships class, some students, they did a story about a woman who actually committed suicide because she had built her career, she had made the money that she wanted to make, she felt successful, but she was alone. She was alone, and she committed suicide as a result. Because in reality, what good is a career? What good is success? What good is money? What good is material possessions? And these are all the things that we put before family in this society. We tell our young people, we tell young girls, oh, don't go and have a baby. Keep your figure, or get your career together first. And we really feel like you need a lot of money to raise a child. And if you look at people that have a lot of money, that particular child is not happy. And if you talk to that child, the only thing they ever wanted was love and time with their parents. And their parents think that the children needs all this material possessions, so they work to death and they don't spend any time with the children, and that child just wants to feel loved. And when you have a polygynous family, you have enough people around that people can actually have a career, go to work, but there'll always be somebody there for the child. There'll always be somebody. And in my opinion, the more the merrier. But she has to be initiated. She has to go through Sacred Woman training. Most women are, even though the idea sounds good to them, they still have a lot of issues that they have to get over, because trust me, even women that say they're in, they're down with polygamy and polygyny, when they're given the opportunity, the jealousy and the insecurity surface. So you really have to purge that first. I'm looking forward to having a big family. The more the merrier. The men that I love, there's always a lot of women that love them. So I just want to make it clear that if a woman loves the man that I love, she's not my enemy, she's my family.
Now, I really hope you guys are paying attention to a lot of cues and points that she was hitting on. Not only would this be beneficial to women who are who are single mothers, but it's also beneficial to widows and things like that. Now, this is where this relationship truly originated from. And it's been around as the oldest form of relationship that you can actually look up here now today. So a lot of people, a lot of naysayers say that, this is something that is really not what it is. This relationship style has been around longer than monogamy. Now, monogamy is just about just over 60 years old as far as a relationship style, people practicing it. Don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure throughout the years, there's still men who only desired and wanted one woman at a time, just based on affordability and them wanting to have more assets or more things they can pass along. Now, we can all say that, of course, polygyny or whatnot is a rich man's game, and you have to have some form of wealth in order to participate. While I would say, hey, it'll be easier, and I would agree with that point of position, I wouldn't say it's just only for rich men. I believe that, when you do find the right women who will help you build a legacy, not only will you be able to grind to get you guys in a position to where they will not have to work, at least both of them, or how many ever you have, but also that you guys can be self-sufficient in having your own form of income. Now, I don't think that even a rich man should have multiple women and not expect certain things, right? But if you're not a so-called rich man or extremely wealthy and you are participating in this, then I believe that you should set your goals, follow your goals, and accomplish those goals. Because at the end of the day, the women that you deal with will ultimately more than likely have to have businesses set up and established and things of that nature. It'll just make life much easier, if they have their own sources of income outside of working a 9 to 5. Now, if you're the type of man who can be able to lead a household like that and teaching them and showing them how to start and form their own companies and corporations, then I think that it is extremely beneficial to what you have to do as a man in that space. But ultimately, as well, of course, you would have to have your own company, business, and things that has been successful, or knowing how to successfully run and operate one, or just have the resources or counsel to be able to help you get there. Now, like it says in the book, there's safety in a multitude of counsels. So don't ever feel as though you can't get more and more information. So please go look things up, go do the research yourself. But at the end of the day, channels like this one and channels like other channels who cover this particular style of relationship are just here to give you more information to arm you to make a better decision whether you would be ready for a space like this or not. I'm not here to try to discourage you from anything. I'm just here to encourage you to want to do things properly, to be motivated in it, and just to shed some light on things for people who really don't understand the space and kind of gear it towards more of a sexual orientation. Now, once we have a better understanding as to what we're doing and how we're doing it, then that's how we can truly move in a more unified spirit when it comes to these things. And it just seems as though that they would accept a more same-sex type of relationship than they will accept a biblical type of relationship like this, like polygamy. Because this space, this relationship style is not all about just having sex and multiple partners and unprotected sex and it's just all lustful and lust filled. No, this is actually about covering women. If you go take a look at LA and go to on Figueroa Street and go down there's so many women out there that's night walking, so many women out there trying to get to the bag, and they have to do it by selling themselves. Now, this is a solution to keep these women off the streets. And then this ain't me coming up with a solution to a problem that's obviously out there. This is me saying that this is a part of what it was for history. If a woman was widowed or if a woman had no one that could, take her on as a wife, she would be married into a different family as a second or co-wife. That's just to protect her, to make sure she's good and make sure she's provided for and she has people around her who can keep her stable and on her feet. I believe sex has little to do with everything here, but it's just a perk or a benefit that comes along with it for a man. For women, it helps them with protection, provisions, and also, of course, having someone to be able to help them throughout the day. Because y'all be honest, ladies, especially you single, especially you mothers out there, single mothers, wives, y'all get tired. Taking care of them children, taking care of the house, taking care of everything financially, and taking care of everything when it comes to preparing meals and things like that on a day in and day out basis. Y'all get tired. Just be honest about it, and your honesty will breed a better understanding as to how this space would benefit or suit you and your husband or your spouse if he's looking for this particular style of relationship. Or if you're just a single mother or a single woman out there who's looking to be covered, but also wants to be sure that she has a space to be able to grow in, to flourish and thrive in, and don't mind the dynamic of having a male and female presence or a male and female presence in a home. A lot of men also really do enjoy a feminine spirit, a feminine energy being around them. You know what I mean? They like to have that type of, you know, a feminine type of energy around them, and to increase that feminine energy around them. A man who's more of a masculine and I guess alpha aggressive man, it reminds them to be softer, it reminds them to be more loving, more compassionate, things of that nature. A little slower to anger. It helps balance them out, because the right women or the right woman would help this man grow, help him become a completely different man. Help him be, if she's the right one, then he's going to become an even better man. It's just going to amplify who he is as a protector, as a leader, as a provider. Because she's not going to allow him to be less than who she know he is, and he's going to want to continue to keep up what he has, the relationship he has with her, the rapport, the confidence that's instilled within him, and the way that he carries himself. Like I said, it's all about if it's the right woman, because it can't just be anyone. She's got to be trustworthy. She's got to be somebody who's highly trusted. She's got to be somebody who's moved past the point of jealousy and has matured into a point as to where she loves any woman who loves him. You know what I mean? Who truly cares for him. And the woman, any other woman who truly cares for her man, is a woman that she's going to accept and receive. So she's transcended into this particular mindset of thinking and not jealousy. And at any point when she sees that man in an intimate space with another woman who loves that man, she's not going to get jealous. She's going to be able to move past it. That's the type of woman you definitely want to be with. That's the type of woman, in fact, if she even makes her excited, if it makes her smile, she gets happy that you are intimate with another person, and she loves to see you just happy. You know what I mean? Just happy, and somebody actually loving on you. Like, some of the most satisfying moments is when you're doing things as a group, as a whole, and you're going out and you're having an opportunity with each other, everybody, at the same time. And the reason for that is that you get to share a beautiful moment, not only with yourself and a woman that you may have fell in love with, but also another woman who you also love just as much. And if I can say that those moments, those opportunities to actually spend time and build relationships and experience with both, that's, man, you can't really beat that. But that's just the way that I see it, right? It wasn't about, the sex. It wasn't about any of that stuff. It was about the moments that was shared, going out, taking a run, all three of us together, going out, going for a jog, going for a run, doing exercises and things like that, attending events and things of that nature. I think those are some of the things that really stood out in that space. It's just the moments that were shared between everybody. Sometimes you got to stop and you got to ask yourself, why am I thinking on this level, as to where everything's all about sex within that space, within that culture, because this is a culture. This is a religious belief. Polygamy is just not, it's not just a personal choice that people make. You got to understand, there's the Muslim faith that practices polygyny. There's the Hebrew faith that practices polygyny. There's the all kinds of different faiths and things of that nature who practice this culture. So this is not just a thing as to where, it just sprung up out of nowhere. It's just a great way to spread STDs and all this other stuff that you want to put out there. No, has been an established relationship style since it's dating as far back as 80 years ago. I mean, this thing has been around for a while. It's just resurfacing itself and regaining its own popularity based on its level of being effective. Like I said before in a previous video, a polygyny household has a 55% divorce rate compared to a monogamous household, which is sitting at around 68% right now. So your odds, which ones would you rather choose? Because a man is living truly within his own purpose, within his own self, and he's truly able to be transparent with you. Would you prefer transparency, or would you prefer somebody to be dishonest? And you got to really pick and choose, because a lot of women who love their man, but their man has stepped out to go and sleep with this woman that he don't really care about. He loves you, but he wants to bang her, but he loves you. You left him because he banged her, but he actually truly loves you. When you're not truly understanding your man in his biological makeup, in his biological what he who he is biologically. You're not truly understanding him, and you're not trying to understand him. You're just going based on your own feelings and emotions, which is fine. You're entitled to it, and he should really be honest with you if he's looking to be that type of man. It's all about the honesty. So, you're not wrong for feeling that way, but you should also make it a very comfortable space for him to be able to communicate these things with you and let you know that's who he is. And the man should have enough balls to be able to come out and just tell you straight up what you're getting yourself into, who he is, what type of guy he is. If he's the type of guy who likes to sleep around, he needs to say, "Hey, I like to sleep around." But he also needs to gain control of it because that's whoredoms. You get control of that. There's no commitment there. If you're just sleeping around and you're just honestly, I think that it's extremely childish. If you're not thinking of some sort of commitment with this woman, and you're just laying with her, like if you're not thinking of some type of commitment to where she's going to be able to receive assets, she's going to be able to receive, and setting her up to where she can be able to receive assets, she can be able to, and she stays faithful, she can receive assets, she can receive all these benefits that comes with being with you as a man, right? Also, of course, understanding what type of contributions that she would have to make, whether it be financially, whether it be within the home, or within the space, for with your co-wives, uh, getting them to understand what they'd have to do, how they would have to do it, and what their role is. Because there's one thing that I would know about women is that the better they understand what their role is going to be in your life as far as a relationship, I think the better that they will want to perform for you. They'll have goals, they'll have things that they would like to accomplish with you, and they'll, you know, set their sights on it and they'll get it done. But as long as you're keeping it 100, you're keeping it a buck, being transparent and honest, I believe that uh, any woman would entertain the idea of taking on or becoming a co-wife. Now, I appreciate you guys joining me for this video today. Don't forget to like it, share it. It really helps the channel grow and the algorithm and things like that to get this video pushed out. And just remember, light creates understanding. Understanding creates love. Love creates patience. And patience creates unity. This is your host, Barack, and I'm out. See you in the next one. Peace and shalom.